I'm in a city called Khotyn off the Dniester River, which is pretty close to Kamyanets-Podilskyi. And in the middle of this area, there are a bunch of castles. These castles can only be described as Walt Disney-like, and the question that is probably on the tips of everyone's tongues is, why is it there are a bunch of castles in the middle of Ukraine? The answer is the Turks. Back in the day, these were built as the last line of defense against the Ottoman Turkish invasion of Europe. Some of them were successful, some of them weren't, but as a parting gift, we have these fortresses in the middle of Ukraine that are pretty cool. Yeah, let's take a look around and see what it's like. Construction of the fortress/castle began sometime in the 11th century under Kievan Rus and finished off sometime in the 15th century under the Ruthenians. Again, the purpose of this fortress was to defend against the Ottoman Turks who were invading Europe multiple times. As you can imagine, the Ruthenians were not huge fans of the Turks. A very popular legend regarding the castle is that a dark spot that's visible on the side of the castle in the brick is the result of a young girl by the name of OKSANA who was buried alive in the walls by the Turks, and that stain is caused by her tears. The castle is also legendary because it was used in Soviet films to depict French and European castles in a number of 1970s and 1980s Soviet films. Getting to this area is a pain in the ass, but I'm going to give you the quick and dirty way to do it. So basically, you want to get to Kamyanets-Podilskyi, which you can do in two ways, either taking a train from Kyiv straight to the city, or taking a train from Kyiv to Chernivtsi, and then in Chernivtsi taking a bus about an hour and a half to Kamyanets-Podilskyi. The city of Khotyn is about 30 minutes away from Kamyanets-Podilskyi, and you can do that either via bus, which costs less than $1, or by taxi, which costs about $10. Alright, so right now I am at the Mac Daddy of all Ukrainian castle. This is Kamyanets-Podilskyi, one of the most celebrated and one of the most well-preserved fortresses/castles in Ukraine. Right behind me, the very storied Walt Disney Towers that everyone knows here in Ukraine. Kamyanets-Podilskyi was actually selected as one of the 7 wonders of Ukraine, and it's pretty easy to see why. This is a very old city built on top of a natural canyon, and surrounding it are rivers, which made this into a really awesome place to defend Slavic civilization back in the day. There's a lot of really cool places around here as well. Over here on the side, we have a church that was at one point taken over by the Turks. A minaret was put in front, and then afterwards, when the Turks retreated, they put a Virgin Mary right on top to say, hey, checkmate. So we're gonna check out the castle right now, see what all of the secrets that lie within it are, and yeah, hope you enjoy. So my best friend in Ukraine is Morshinska Slabogazovna, weakly carbonated water. But yeah, once you're inside Kamyanets-Podilskyi, the type of feeling that you have here is kind of reminiscent of the Bristol Renaissance Fair or medieval times. The only difference is that instead of cardboard and a bunch of costumes made by IT managers across America, these walls are all real. Much like its neighbor of Khotyn, Kamyanets-Podilskyi was also built as a defensive measure against the wild and tumultuous forces that swirled around this area of the world between the 12th and 17th centuries. However, unlike Khotyn, Kamyanets-Podilskyi is much more of a touristic hotspot. Part of this is because a train goes directly from Kyiv to Kamyanets-Podilskyi, and the area around Kamyanets-Podilskyi is much more tourist-friendly, with a number of shops and restaurants in its vicinity. In comparison, Khotyn is surrounded by dirt. Also, there is a local legend that says that Turkish gold is still buried in the walls of this castle. So, if you come to Kamyanets-Podilskyi, besides getting an amazing profile picture that will make everyone in your social circle jealous beyond belief, you might be walking home with a bunch of Ottoman gold as well.
Stalin say like and subscribe.